Hi. So I thought I'd write a newsletter, but maybe I just directly speak to you and see what's going on and share that with you, and then you can listen into it and connect to me little bit better, because I think the writing is always a different aspect than actually speaking it out. You maybe have heard or have seen it's Solar Tantra time again in Dublin on the 18th and 19th of May, and also 11th and 12th of May for gay or bisexual men is a Solar Tantra in London. So you're all very welcome to join. But my big process is, after many years, to removing shame and guilty feelings around the aspect of sexuality. Now what I have really come to realize is how much shame and guilt also I feel around truly and utterly not actually believing, but knowing God, of connecting to Him, and now it's part to really come out and speak out and shine my light with all the knowledge and the motivation and the inspirations that I have. So and this is really important, and I want to introduce you to my little triangle, right? Where at the moment it is just the body and the mind. So one is the body, one is the mind, and it's really a tug of war the whole time between those both two things. If you're only working on this plane, for me this plane I always call the work-life balance plane, because it is about how do you live in your body, what you do with it, and the mind is telling you to earn money, and what you're doing, how you're applying yourself with it. But it's all ego, right? The physical body is ego, it's carnal desire, it's really base desires of sex. And on the other side is, I want to be someone, therefore I need to be successful, I need to earn money, and so on and so forth. But suddenly what happens is, with this plane, which is just a forwards and backwards, we create a magic space. And the magic space, the vortex, this certainly is something what is going to come from that. And certainly what's going to come from that, from those who dare, those who feel called to follow their heart, is when we bring God into it, or spirit, or energy, or knowing that all this is somehow something that is much greater than everything there is, the totality of it. So what happens in this triangle? This is really what it goes. And the problem with this is that when it's a small triangle, you'll maybe make small steps. But if you really push and dare and making this a big triangle, then of course so much more magic and mystery can unravel. Plus, the thing that I always is most important for me is really that suddenly the purpose line comes out of it. The ego, the way how we apply ourselves, is not just being asked anymore, okay, what was the best way to earn a living, but how we are of service, how we're here to serve the universe, to serve the world, to serve the totality. And this is where we need the surrender, basically, and the belief and the conviction and the faith that there is something that will move us in the right direction, that will bring us back to that what we should do here, or what we came here to do. On the other side is exactly on the physical line between God and the body and sexuality, that it is okay to be a sexual being with all its desires, with all its, but also connecting that to a higher purpose of saying, okay, let's go out of the carnal states, of the real basic sexual drives, heal them, integrate, and done that, worn the t-shirt and so on. But then with that, rising upwards again, getting out of ego, and turning more into energy, turning more into, okay, what is this? It's not an act of actually doing or having sex, but it's actually being the sexual energy itself, being the creative force, that brings you, that drives you towards your greatest potential, right? What does a mustard seed do? And sexual energy, nothing else than sexual energy, drives us forwards to become the biggest mustard tree it can be. So there it is, the huge important aspect of getting out of this tug of war between mind and body and make it magic, start a mystery. And you don't have to go to church. I don't say that, not at all. Churches for me are so limiting, but the true spirit is just limitless. So therefore, just notice and watch and open yourself up. You don't need to do anything, just to stop the limitation of it, to say, okay, I'm interested. I take in a third aspect and I have a look what happens, and then just surrender to it. You don't need to do anything. There's nothing that you shouldn't do, nothing that you should do. You just should surrender to it and go with the flow. Your heart will tell you, because again, remember, in this plane, you're only an ego. You're only this what you know and this what you feel, and you're just going forwards and backwards. But as you do this, here in the middle, what is there? There's the heart. There's this magic chamber of the hat, who will allow you to connect to everything, where then a particular path that maybe the steps you don't know yet, you have no idea, but they will reveal themselves as you walk. So therefore, the only thing is, keep pushing those reference points outwards. Believe in this part, this is actually your purpose line, and this is actually the way how you embody all of that you are. And if you bring this out, you will create and go away from ego, and you will come into the middle of this triangle, which is your heart. And from there, you will be connected to your magic path. From there, you just need to surrender and let go of the excessive dominance of the mind, of the ego, of who you are, who you should be, and see what his will is, what thy kingdom come, your will be done. So the most wonderful of journeys. Anyway, I think this is what really works for me. That system around the triangle is something that really has moved me now since many, many years. But I'm only now courageous enough to step out there and face the critics, particularly my own self-critic, of what you're doing, and that will be your grave, starting to talk about God now. And so yeah, here you go. There it is. It's the first one. You will see plenty of stuff coming more where I want to talk about it, where I want to give inspirations to look into this Holy Trinity in a way, so that you can also create the magic that I receive and be part of every single day. So wishing you all the best. Hopefully to see you soon on Skype in a session or over a Solid Tantra workshop. So I wish you well. Rise and shine.